Welcome to A Mason's Work, the podcast where we review Masonic symbols and illustrate how they can be used to solve problems in everyday life. With your host, Brian Mattox, a proud member of the Craftsman Online Media Network.
When we talk about the Worshipful Master role as in a relational perspective at that sort of relational level, it's easy to kind of look at this in a couple of different ways. First, we'll start with the sort of the exoteric, the obvious stuff, right? The relationship given stuff. As your Worshipful Master, when you're executing, you're responsible for maintaining the culture of your lodge, right? It is very much the kind of ways of working, how we interact with each other. What does that look like? And how does it work? You are not the chief entertainer. You're not up there tap dancing or any of that kind of stuff. You're there to really set the stage for how work gets done. You're also not the primary workman, if you will. You are there to oversee the work, not do it. Now, I know that sounds crazy because we have this servant leadership model, and yes, you definitely want to serve in a leadership function. But in the context of what we're talking about in Lodge, it is important to understand that when you try and drive engagement, you get folks involved, and they're doing a lot more work than any one person can do. Right? You're gonna leverage the sort of multiplicity of people and get more work done than you would ever be able to do on your own. Internally, as a esoteric function, internal to your mind or your internal landscape, the function we're talking about as Worshipful Master at this sort of relationship layer is really referential integrity. And when we talk about this, we're talking about making sure that your thoughts and behavior and your emotional content are in alignment with what's actually happening, not just what's happening in the world, but the choices you're making, that the things you're choosing to do are honoring the reality of the current situation, and they are honoring your respective needs, the things that have to be present, your values, your morals, all of that kind of stuff. If you can understand this relational level of Worshipful Master, your behavior will never kind of get, for lack of a better way to say it, out of whack. You'll always be working with purpose on purpose, which is the design intent of sort of real agency, right? You want to be able to do the thing you're trying to do from a place that is honest, open, capable, and agentic. So when we're trying to figure out how to do this, and if this is even happening, when you sit as Worshipful Master, it's going to be important to essentially start breaking out some tools. Some of your Master Mason's tools, some of your Apprentice Mason's tools, whatever they might be, all of the operative tools of the craft, so you can start to evaluate your behavior and your motives and your intentions all together in relation to make sure that they are consistently achieving the kind of objectives you're shooting to achieve, right? Your lifestyle objectives, your sort of overall arching goals of your lifetime, whatever that might be. The temple, if you will, that we're all trying to kind of work together to create. All of that is present in this kind of understanding or this perspective on referential integrity. So sitting with this is not easy. All right. So I don't want to trivialize how all this kind of plays out. Sitting as Worshipful Master is probably the hardest job you're going to have internally in meditation and reflection. Also out in the lodge experience, because it is simultaneously this kind of super intimate feeling, and it's also completely alien and isolating. So don't let that dissuade you as you go through this. Sit in reflection and try and understand these relationships. And as you surface new stuff, don't be afraid to come here and tell us what's going on, and we can talk about it together. I'll see you at the next episode.
The views represented in this podcast are those of the speaker alone and are not representative of any grand or subordinate lodge.
Hi, Brian here. I wanted to thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you have any suggestions or guidance for further episodes you'd like to see or hear, whatever the case may be, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at amasonswork.com, and we will try and incorporate your suggestions into a future recording. Thanks.
Freemasonry teaches us that the true work is within, a lifelong journey of reflection, discipline, and discovery. At A Mason's Work, we help Masons bring out their best selves through meaningful self-inquiry and symbolic practice. From personal reflection to lodge engagement, we offer tools that turn symbols into action. Visit us at amasonswork.com. The work is within. The time is now.